Hey, what's up guys, Adam here. So I've been using the MXL 990 and 991 for just over a week now, so I think it's about time to go ahead and give you the full review of both these microphones. So without any further ado guys, let's go ahead and get right into it. Okay guys, so starting off with the MXL 990, which I'm actually using to record this video. It has a very small and compact, almost of a squat kind of format, and it can be a good thing or a bad thing. It can be a good thing because it's a lot more compact, but it can also be a very bad thing because it's very difficult to try and find a decently priced shock mount for this microphone because of its overall design. Now, going on and moving on now to the MXL 991, it's a top addressed microphone, so all of the sound is addressed from the top of the microphone, and it's simply just typical of any style pencil style microphone which is going to be used on a drum overhead or any loud percussion instrument. So moving on to the accessories portion of these microphones, we don't get quite a lot of gear with the microphones at all. As you can see from the unboxing, we only get the box itself and the carrying case, as well as going to be the clips that are going to hold the microphones onto the boom stand. So we don't get any shock mounts or any pop filter or anything like that, so that's going to be something else I might have to invest into with these microphones. So also, these microphones are also very basic in terms of functionality. They're simply, you need to plug into a mixer and you're ready to go. You don't get any, like my Audio-Technica ATR 2500, it was a USB style microphone. You also got a headphone monitoring jack on the microphone itself. You don't actually get this with any of these two microphones at all. Everything in terms of headphone monitoring has to come from your audio mixer, so you can't actually monitor anything straight out of the microphones themselves. It needs to be plugged externally into a mixer or a mix amp or some sort of external device. You also don't get any inputs for any like changing the patterns. You can't, like on a Blue Snowball or a Blue Yeti for example, you can change it to omnidirectional or unidirectional. You cannot do this at all with these microphones. It's simply a unidirectional cardioid condenser microphone. You can't really change any of the inputs on the microphone at all. So everything has to be done on the mixer itself or on your computer. You can't actually make any changes on the microphone itself. So I guess it really boils down to, how do these microphones really sound? Now, you're listening to the MXL 990, as I mentioned before, in this video and some of the videos that I've done previously, but I'm also going to try and give you a sound comparison. But it's not really going to be almost a direct comparison between the MXL 990 and the 991 because they're two microphones that are pretty much specified to do different things. It's almost going to be like a sound side-by-side sample of each microphone, and then I'm going to go ahead and give you an audio test of each microphone by reading an extract of a book called Of Mice and Men, so you're going to be able to hear that. Okay guys, so before I go ahead and get into the sound test, I've got three main disclaimers to go ahead and make. So number one, I'm not in the best sound dampened room, so you're going to hear a bit of echoing in the background because I've got a lot of drywall around. I haven't got any sound insulation, so that's going to be disclaimer number one. Now disclaimer number two, I've got quite a loud PC and you can probably hear it humming in the background there even at idle. And number three, I've also got a clock that's got a very loud ticking motion, so there's going to be three almost controlled variables there to consider when listening to this sound test. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and begin the sound test now. The bunkhouse was a large rectangular building. Inside, the walls were whitewashed and the floor was unpainted. In three walls, there were three small square windows, and the fourth a solid door with a wooden latch. Against the wall were 8 bunks. 5 of them were made up with blankets, and the other 3 were showing their burlap ticking. Over each bunk, there was a nailed apple box with an opening forward, so that it could make 2 shelves for the personal belongings of the occupant of the bunk. And these shelves were loaded with little articles, soap and talcum powder, razors, and those Western magazines ranchmen love to read and scoff at and secretly believe. Okay, so the next test is going to be using the MXL 991. It's going to be at the distance as you can see in the camera. I'm going to remain at that distance, and I'm also going to go ahead and change the input, so the input's going to be coming straight from the MXL 991. Okay, so now I've gone ahead and switched over to the MXL 991. So everything's been changed. I've changed the inputs accordingly on the mixer, and I'm ready to go ahead and read out the extract. The bunkhouse was a long rectangular building. Inside, the walls were whitewashed and the floor unpainted. In 3 walls, there were 3 small square windows, and the fourth a solid door with a wooden latch. Against the walls were 8 bunk beds, 5 of which were made up with blankets, and the other 3 were showing their burlap ticking. Over each bunk was a nailed apple box with an opening forward, so it made 2 shelves for the personal belongings of the occupant of the bunk. and these shelves were loaded with little articles, soap and talcum powder, razors, and those Western magazines ranchmen love to read and scoff at and secretly believe. Okay guys, so that has been the side-by-side sound test of the MXL 990 and MXL 991. If you did enjoy, then don't forget to give it a big thumbs up, and of course subscribe if you want to go ahead and see more tech videos. Thank you for watching, take care, and of course I'll see you guys in the next tech video. Bye for now.